guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually filming a travel tag. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I love travelling, and I have done a video in the past about backpacking and what I took as somebody who's plus size when I went backpacking. So you can go back to my channel or look in the description if you want the link to that video. But this video today is going to be me answering 20 questions. The questions which I've got are from the YouTube Society website, and again I'll also link this page in the description. So I'm just going to be reading the questions just off my laptop just to make it a bit better to film, and yeah, let's get started. I'm just going to say, my friend Bernice, she said, Liv, you've got so many travel stories, like you've travelled quite a lot, you need to do something to do with travel on your channel. And I've been asking for video suggestions, and that is the reason that I'm filming this video today. So thank you to Bernice for that. And also, this makeup look here is one that I've just filmed on my channel, and I have used products that were suggested by my followers on Instagram to create this look. So that's my video which I just uploaded, so if you do want to watch that, then please do feel free to. So let's just start with the travel tag. So the first question is, what age were you when you first started travelling? To be honest, what do you class as travelling? Like, if you'd say going to different countries, then I started at quite a young age. I'd probably say about 4 when I first went on my holiday, well, that I remember. And I used to go to places like Spain, Mallorca, Italy, just places that are quite close to Manchester and England. So it was just good for a family, and we'd usually go to like a villa or something like that. I'd say I'm quite fortunate that we've always been travelling. We've always been on holidays as a family. But proper travelling, I'd say I probably started when I was about 19. I did actually study abroad for a year in Malaysia, and I feel like that's when I kick-started my travel bug. And I was quite fortunate in the fact that Air Asia, which is like a low budget airline similar to Ryanair, EasyJet, is based in Kuala Lumpur, which is the city I was living. So I could travel pretty much all around Asia, mainly Southeast Asia, really cheaply. And I'd say that that is when I first started travelling. So probably 3 years ago actually, so I'd say probably about 2021. Where was your first travel? So I've kind of already spoken about that here already, but I guess when I was younger it was probably to Spain. But when I was older and I started like backpacking travelling, I moved to Malaysia in September, and I was in Kuala Lumpur, and then I went to different Malaysian cities at the start. So I went to Penang, and then for my birthday, which was in the October, I went to Langkawi Island. So I'd say that Langkawi, Penang, they were like the first places that I travelled when I was travelling. What countries have you visited and lived in? So obviously I've lived in Malaysia, and obviously England. And where have I visited? Well, in Europe I've visited Spain, Italy, Portugal, Brussels, Netherlands, France. I've been to Hong Kong, Macau, obviously Malaysia. I've been to Thailand, Singapore. I've been to America, a few different places there. And obviously last year I was lucky enough to go to South America, so I went to Peru, Brazil and Argentina. What is your dream place to go to and why? Where is your dream place to go and why? I think my dream place to go, I really want to go to somewhere like Bora Bora. I really want to go to the Maldives. I think these are places that are on everybody's list, but I know I've got to go there soon because I know they're not going to exist anymore because, you know, humans. They're places I want to go to because they just seem like luxury, and I think they're on everybody's list. Places individually that I want to go to, I really want to go to Saudi Arabia. Hopefully me and the girls are going to plan that soon. We want to go to Sri Lanka. Like, there's quite a lot of places that we want to go to, but I think my dream place has to be somewhere like the Maldives. I want to go to the Seychelles, all those kind of places. What are your favourite moments from travelling? I don't even know where to start. I have so many. Just on my trip last year, We went to Machu Picchu, which was obviously amazing. It was like a wonder of the world. We went to Christ Redeemer, again, another wonder of the world. We went to the Sugarloaf Mountain. It was just, you know, amazing. Like, we were there for 3.5 weeks and we did so much, saw so much. So we have so many memories. I can't put my finger on one memory. But one trip that was full of memories was when I went to Bali with my friends, because so much happened, and I did speak about that a little bit on my Instagram story yesterday. Just like some moments that I'll never forget because they were like near-death experiences. Me and my friends jumped off the boat into the water to see like an underground memorial, and it was meant to be like, there was meant to be loads of statues and stuff like that. And we literally jumped in the water, looked down at the memorials, and all of a sudden they were gone because the current was so strong that it literally just pulled us aside. And we then all looked up and we were trying to see each other, and we were so far apart. And then the man who was on our boat was like, girls, you need to come back, like quick. And we were literally trying to swim as fast as we could, and I'm a strong swimmer and I was still so scared. And we had to swim back to the boat, and then the boat was rocking like that and we had to try and get on it. That was very scary because I did think for a second that I was literally going to drown. And then literally 20 minutes before this, we went and swam with stingrays. It was manta rays. I think it was at that place, and we were looking for the rays, and then one of us just looked underwater and we saw a sea snake, and that was like so scary because it was in between, like it was swimming in between my friend's legs, and she was like, oh my god, it's so close. We told our tour guide and he was like, okay, you need to get back to the boat now. And then he got a stick and he tried to like hit the stake and move it, and he was like saying how it was as venomous as a cobra, which obviously is so scary. But health and safety in Asia, especially like Thailand, just wouldn't happen in Europe. That is all I'm saying. What 3 things do you bring with you when you travel? That is such a good question. 3 things that I travel with. I always take a power bank. I know that sounds so stupid, but I literally like cannot survive without a power bank. Whether you're going on coach journeys and you need to watch a film or download Netflix and watch something for hours, I just can't survive without a power bank. And I'm such a picture person. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a picture person in the way that I'm like doing everything for Instagram, because I'm really not. And the Instagram I have is for myself, it's not for other people's approval. I do like to document and save pictures from special moments, because when I look back at things, obviously they're the pictures that I have to remind me of those times. So I'd definitely say my power bank. I would obviously say my phone because of that. And another thing is Tiger Balm. Like, if you know me, you know that I love Tiger Balm. I use it for everything, whether it's like aches and pains, mosquito bites, if I've got congested nose, everything I use Tiger Balm for. And I think that's like everybody's essential when they're backpacking or travelling. So the next question is, favourite food you've tried from another country? Just thinking now, like, what food do I remember? Because in Malaysia, I did like the local food, like nasi lemak, fried rice and chicken. But I wouldn't say it was like my favourite food. And in Thailand, I really like pad thai and I love satay. Like, I always try and recreate it myself. I also like Malaysian satay. You know what, I'm going to say that. Malaysian satay, because it's different to like Thai, and I used to buy the sauces there to make myself as well, and now that I'm at home I recreate them all the time. Next question is, list a few words you've learnt from your travels. I don't know, like salamat datang, salamat tinggal, sama-sama. If people were here now, they'd be like, live what you're doing. Hari Raya, that's the Malaysian holiday. Salute. I literally can't remember. I'm so bad at this. The next question is, have you made friends from other countries and how did you meet them? 1,000,000%. I've made friends from all over the world. I have friends in Europe, Asia. I've made friends in the Middle East. I've met a lot of people through university because I was at an international university, but then I've also met people whilst I've been travelling. I feel like Europeans always kind of stay together wherever they go, especially in like Asia. And then when I was on my last trip, we made some friends that were from Australia. We made some friends from London. We made some friends from Zurich. So yeah, I've got friends like everywhere now from travelling. That's like the beauty of it, I guess. The worst moment of your travels, right? We all know that travelling isn't glamorous. I'd say this one trip, it was the best trip in some ways and really bad in others. So it was an Airbnb problem basically. So we went to a place in Malaysia called Taman Negara, which translates to a national park, and it was basically a rainforest like in the middle of nowhere. It was just a place we could drive to. It was about 3 hours away from where I was living, and I rented a place off Airbnb, and it was cheap, but when you think of the conversion rate, like it seemed realistic. So I'd rented a place out for one night and it came to around £100, and there were about 8 of us, but it still was realistic because of the currency exchange. So we arrived at the house and it was a very angry man who was there to greet us, and he said to me, why is there so many of you? And I was like, because we've rented out the place. And he was like, no, you've rented out one room. And I was like, no, I haven't. And he was like, yes, you have, and was like screaming. And basically we rang Airbnb, and Airbnb said, do not stay there if you feel threatened. He basically told us that we had to pay more money if we wanted to stay, and we had to pay him cash directly rather than going through Airbnb, which was completely against Airbnb guidelines. So they blacklisted him off the website. Airbnb sent me the money back straight away. They also sent me money to cover the costs for that night, and when I then got home they gave me a voucher for like £100, so it kind of made up for it. But it was scary because we were in such a remote area, and we had this man who ended up working in the jungle, and he had like loads of tools with him. We were just terrified. And then the next day we obviously meant to do a hike around the jungle, and I was throwing up so much. And I think it was because we were in such a remote area, we were like worried about what we were eating. So I had 2 McDonald's in one day, and I don't know if that was it or the fact that I must have had some dodgy ice cream or something, like we still don't know. But one of my other friends was ill as well, and it was still a good trip, but it was just one of those moments where you're just like, why am I in this situation? So yeah, that was probably my worst travelling experience, or the Hong Kong Airbnb, which I won't talk about right now because I might be able to mention it down below. Where would you like to visit again and why? Well, I feel like because I've made so many memories in Malaysia, I really want to go back. I'm actually meant to be going in September, but whether that happen or not, I don't know, but I'm hoping it will. And I'm hoping to show some of my friends like what I used to do on a daily, my favourite places. Like I just can't wait for that if it actually happens. So do you have any plans for upcoming travel? So yeah, I actually was meant to go to Paris like a month ago. I was supposed to be going to Portugal next week, and I was supposed to be going to Malaysia. All of which, well, Paris and Portugal have been cancelled. I don't know what's going to happen yet about Malaysia. We will see, but hopefully not. Hopefully it'll all go ahead. So that are the only plans I've got. And me and my friends do want to go away in like November, but we haven't decided where, and we're just kind of holding off now because of obviously the current pandemic. So why do you travel? So I think one of the reasons I enjoy travelling so much is because when you're travelling, you don't have any responsibilities. You're there, you're free to do what you want. I like to meet new people and experience new cultures and see these amazing places with my closest friends. Do you or have you ever travelled for work, and where? Yeah. I'm not going to expose myself, but with my job I travel every single day. That's probably just said what I do. I usually just go to London, but sometimes I can go to other locations in England, but it's normally just the same places. What climates do you prefer? Cool, rainy, warm, tropical, desert? Well, I actually love holidays where you can get a bit of both. Like obviously when I went to South America, we went to a desert, and we went to Huacachina in Peru, we went to an island in Brazil, we then went to a city in Brazil, we went to a rainforest there, and that was a really good holiday because we got loads of different climates in one. I do love a beach, don't get me wrong, everyone loves a beach, but I'm not the kind of person that goes on holiday to just chill. Like there's a difference between travelling and holidays. On holiday, yeah, I'll go to an all-inclusive, I'll have a few cocktails and sit by a pool and beach all day, but when I actually travel, that's like my idea of hell. I want to get out there, I want to experience things. Don't really think you can be a traveller if you don't like to do those things, so I'd like a mix, I'd say. What is the first thing you check out when you go to a new country? For me, it's probably the food. I always love to go and see the food, try different foods. I like to go and see the spots that everybody recommends, what it's known for. But then I also try and do a lot of research before I go somewhere and find those hidden gems, the more authentic places. I mean, anything that's organised isn't authentic, but I try and get those experiences that aren't as popular as others. And one thing I always do if I go to like a European city, I always do the open top bus, because I think it is kind of expensive to do those tours, but I do the 2-day tour, so I'd use the bus to go around the city, and then I'd go back around and get off where I wanted. That's something that like I've started doing recently on like my past few city breaks, and I just think it makes you be able to see everything. And then obviously if you have got a map and you've circled where you want to go, you can kind of see which stop is closest. Have you ever travelled around your home country, and where is the favourite place you've been? Not really. I mean, England, it's not that big. I've been to like London a lot. I've been to, I'm not even going to pretend that I've travelled around because I haven't. What's your favourite thing about travelling? Well, I kind of covered that out earlier, saying why do you travel? My favourite things, I guess, are spending time with my friends, having time away, escaping reality, I guess. I love making new memories. I also think that travelling like really helps you grow as a person. And I noticed that when I went and lived away and came home, I realised how different I was to my friends, which sounds stupid and like weird to admit, but I feel like going away actually learned a lot about myself and everyone else. What is your top travel trips for other people? So I would definitely say before you go somewhere, watch some like travel vlogs of where the people have been, what they've done in like a short amount of time. I also like to look on Instagram and see where people have tagged in at places, because I feel like doing things like that is where you find out about the smaller places and where bloggers like to go, not where all tourists go, for example. I always like to list and have like an idea of where I want to visit, because I don't like going somewhere with a complete plan, but I hate not having a plan because I feel like you just start wasting your time. But I always kind of like have an idea before I even book somewhere what I want to get out of the trip. Another top tip would be obviously reading blogs, so you can see like what kind of things to wear when you go to places, especially in like Muslim countries. You know, you need to know about restrictions on clothing so you can pack for those. Another top tip for travelling is to make sure you travel with people that you really get on with, because I feel like if it's a new friendship and you start backpacking together, like it's gonna break. Unless obviously they're your good friend. I think when you go travelling with someone, like you literally have to know the ins and outs of the person. Me and my friends, we always joke about like the lengths and things we had to do for each other. Not going to expose on camera, but you literally have to do everything for that person at some points. So you need to be with people that are mature, mentally on the same like level as you, but it's also nice to have differences so you're not like always bored of each other. I think they're like the main things that I'd say, really. Yeah. Well, I hope you've liked this video. It's been quite a long one. compared to some of my other videos, but you know, I hope you guys know a little bit more about me and my travelling and what I like to do. I'm going to include like a few of my favourite travel clips just at the end, just so that you guys can see some of the places I've mentioned. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe if you have. Bye!